Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Hello. Let's see. That's good.
Hello, everybody.
My video looks funny now.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hopefully the audio is good. Goodness gracious gads and gadzooks. Glacial greetings, gracious Gentiles. We're glad to gather and gawk at the gibbering gibberous gopher. It's Gibbergathery. Glowing green and glorange, giddy up Goomba, it's the glorious Glocata-like galactically guffing giraffe. It's Gakara. Glumly gawping at our gradial gladii, grubby and glitchy from gambling, ya grok, and guzzling gin from a gizzard, it's Gall from the gastro grub. Gelcome to the Geelegation. Let's get going. Oh, and I'm gated. That one sounds the worst. Hi.
Sometimes I miss being on this show. Sometimes I don't. This is the
What are the times that you miss being on this show?
Usually when Fastcart is on here, because he usually makes a lot of 3/5 jokes and is generally the most delightful man on the podcast.
Yeah, usually.
Especially when it's with when he's with Shiver, because like
the two of them are.
The chance that you all will get some sort of like community guideline strike of some way, shape, or form is way higher when those two are on the same time.
Always.
I will say
many people come with that warning.
I actually did some research while writing that, just to double check that I am allowed to say Goomba. If an Italian calls someone a Goomba, it's actually a term of endearment that they can use to talk to a good friend. So
I'm confused because the only Goombas I know are from Super Mario Brothers. So my thought is,
said.
Yeah. And the Kara? Awesome.
So yeah, Darge.
Yeah, so I'm Shiver.
Oh, these are
below
all
me
I
is
didn't.
Paul. And
Right.
Over there is Nakara.
It all
Oh, no, wrong direction. There, over there. There we go.
It all reset itself when I restarted Discord to try and fix the
Video problem.
which
The audio is apparently pretty good, but the video is still like 10 frames per second, so...
there is literally no explanation for that.
We checked his computer. It's running fine. It's probably on Discord's end, to be fair.
To be frank.
Yeah.
We could try changing servers.
Yeah, try changing the servers. The servers just could be dead right now.
How do I do that?
Don't we have to drop the... Do we have to drop the call first?
No, he has to drop from US from... let me try this.
All right, so we changed the US.
Did that work?
See if that... Yeah, I saw it change on mine, too.
Okay, I have the ability to change it. So
Yes, you do.
Wait, what?
Let's see if that fixes anything.
Oh,
We
US
just changed
Central?
the server. Yeah. Oh, that... yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Star Citizen's a thing. Sometimes.
It is. Yeah.
Now we're just frozen. That's great.
No, sorry, I fixed it.
Oh, okay.
It didn't change the video on this end. I don't know why my PC has decided to start hating Discord, but it doesn't seem to, like, until we went, Discord was okay, and then I went live, and then the two, Discord and streaming together, just apparently don't like each other, and I honestly don't get it. But,
it's okay. This is just the retro cast where we're showing you what live podcasts were like in 2009.
Yeah.
Still the same for me. This is my experience.
1 second. What's that, Mac?
On your phone, Mom sent a message.
He may need to also just restart.
We tried that last week. I don't know. We're very confused. That's what the issue is. I blame Rogers.
Because I'm not seeing it at all.
Sorry, I'm being asked for help with Pokemon.
I think one of the problems is someone put in what is the plural of Gladius, and Google's sort of just straining, trying to work out what plural is.
That was my fault. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, let's. You know what? No, we're gonna start. We're gonna start with Paul because you're back.
Okay. I'm back. Yay! I took a vacation, a mental break. But I'm good. Yeah, I mean, as for everything going on, I've been so like this. I will paint the picture really quickly. It is January, so nothing is coming out, so it just happens. Yeah, exactly. Happy little clouds who don't make mistakes.
Happy little excuses.
Yeah, exactly. So things been coming out, and I was not feeling streaming at all. I just had kind of this like, it's hard to explain, but essentially at the very beginning of the school year, our principal goes through this whole like PD. Says, "Oh, you're all great. By the way, I can't guarantee your jobs in 2 years," which is always a great thing to hear from your principal. So I'm just like, man, I fucking hate my job right now.
Whoa.
I hate my job. I like what I'm doing and all these other things, but that added that additional stress on top of streaming and then dealing with like people who are stalking me through streaming, which is a real thing. I've been stalked by several folks, and
Well, you are
Wait,
pretty beautiful.
why?
oh, because they're looking for any excuse to like anything that I say that's like negative or like 'cause they think I'm like some sort of conspiracy where they honestly believe I'm being paid by CIG. And
Oh, so it's that guy doing this stuff.
yeah, but it's like it's pretty bad, like in terms of like the harassment and that kind of stuff. It's not like to the point of like going to the cops because it's just like whatever. But in terms of like enjoyment for streaming, being like, well, great. If I say fuck Dr. Nathan, then suddenly it's gonna
It appears
I'm gonna hear this,
everywhere.
like, yeah, like oh my god, is this true? Is he lost faith or some shit like that? It's like, dude, come on. I'm just playing the game for fun, you know.
Well, you got to
Yeah.
remember that INN and Relay are 100% like subsidiaries of CIG.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, we have been
But
for
it's-
years.
but it's that shit
Disclaimer,
that's,
that's not true.
but the thing is that that kind of shit sucks the enjoyment out of streaming Star Citizen, and there's been no updates for Star Citizen. And on top of that, you know, just life stuff. And so I just said, you know what, I'm just going to take a break instead of trying to push myself through because, you know, on top, I had my birthday, I had a stream anniversary, and
Happy
I had
birthday.
Tax Out this month. Yeah, thank you. So a lot of that stuff, there's a lot of breakups of the stream schedule and that kind of stuff. So I just, you know what, I'm just gonna take the rest of the month off and I'll come back fresh. And it was good. It's nice. And I always suggest, I'm always a big fan of like mental health breaks for streamers, because it's important to make sure that you keep your own mental sanity, even though the rush for streamers is like, oh, be on all the time, stream all the time. You can't work all the time. It's unhealthy. You need times to just relax and decompress. So,
Yeah, it is definitely a problem. A lot of streamers work too much.
Sorry, Mini Eris was trying to decide what move to get rid of to learn double kick because
Important things. Important things in a young gamer's life.
I mean, yeah, she has to learn that growl and tail whip are useless.
are totally useless.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Darge makes a good point. CIG no longer exists. They are
Oh, yeah, it's now
CI.
CG.
they're not SIG anymore. They're just C.
See. Paul, welcome back.
Thank you.
I hope you had. Oh wait.
Shipper's
than that-
losing his shit up there.
Other
Down
than that,
down
it's
there. There he is.
Other than that, it's been fantastic. I'm coming back, and we're doing the first captain stable for the new year. Because that's the other thing is that like I wanted to reform the captain stable so I don't have 6 hours of Eris
being
HC Vertigo
brilliant,
and
and
Darsh.
amazing.
It got so bad. It got really bad. And there's a lot more people who are watching it on YouTube now, so I wanted to kind of reform it so it's like, A, the people in Europe aren't staying up till 6 a.m. to try to do this, and B, the rest of us can feel like we have, time to do other things. It's a good scheduled block. So I'm doing what Relay Station did. So yeah, blame Relay if you don't like the new format.
It's our fault.
So you're going to a shorter format, correct?
Yeah, shorter. So we're going to be more controlled format, and we're going to end it's going to be like an hour of actual like content, like discussion, and then like about 30 minutes to an hour of like questions. Now we'll do like entire episodes where it's just the questions. So it's like an hour or two of just the questions. That way, because a lot of people like those rather than the discussions. So
I see. So what you've realized is that Relay Station is the true pinnacle, and you've decided to step onto our turf and make us completely useless, which is great. We can shut down. Thanks so much. Been nice seeing everyone. Goodbye. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Okay, whatever.
Come on, man.
We're back.
The question spot isn't working.
Oh,
good.
right. I got to turn that on. Sorry.
Yeah, turn on the damn bot.
Okay.
Also, I do like your little message at the top.
I got no ideas. The sound is better.
Next week, I'll try and
we'll try and have you host.
Anything.
I've been having just tons of problems with my internet throughout the house, and then this, and I'm just.
it could be your internet as well. It could just be like that. Your upload speed is just like tanking for some reason, which is the reason why the video and the stream. Whenever you turn on the stream, the video goes down. So you may want to reduce the video quality on the stream, and that may help.
Maybe somewhere there is a tiny little internet feeding crab, like grabbing onto the wire of your internet.
It's possible.
Just, like, eating half of the relay. He's just eating half of the relay station. Just like.
So wait, is it bitrate that I would reduce?
Yeah, bitrate. Reduce the bitrate. You don't need high bit rates anyways for podcasts, because a high bit rate is usually just kind of smooth out gameplay and movement.
It's 1700.
That's not a very high bit rate.
No, I'm janitor. I'm not talking about the bit rate in terms of like the quality of the stream. I'm talking about that the upload is the issue. Is like the two uploads are fighting each other, Discord and. The
weird thing is, when I look in Discord, my camera's slow too.
When I look in Discord, my camera isn't slow at all.
That's weird. Maybe Canada's just screwed.
Yeah, I think what it is just nobody likes Canada. Eh?
Maybe it's really cold in some places in Canada and it's slow on the internet.
I wrote a short story for a competition this week.
Yes, you did.
Uh-huh.
And it's the main character's a Newfie, and I'm really pleased with it. Let's talk about Star Citizen.
Star Citizen. Let's do it.
What?
Yeah.
What's that?
That thing.
I did like Bryce Arena's comment there. I guess the national project EIG is to go to CI and then just to C++.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna get this queued up, whatever, and
not Quaid. Quaid is wrong.
No.
He's questioning you.
It's Quee, all right? It's Quee.
Oh no.
Let's so QUEUE or Quay, right? Mm-hmm. So why is it pronounced the same as QUAY?
What?
I don't know French, man. Don't ask me.
Q is Q, Quay is Quay. They're not the same thing.
So I will say that this week's Around the Verse was pretty.
It was very pretty. It was mildly entertaining as well.
So here's the interesting thing. That video, the video below, has no
Runs
issues. It runs fine. It's just the Discord.
Bloody
So
cameras.
yeah.
So wait,
It looks good.
If I started moving 3 times as fast, would it go to normal speed?
Yes. Let's all move really fast.
Oh man.
Shiver's just like, what the f have I gotten myself into?
Just thinking I'm in the wrong country for this. I need something that is completely illegal in this country to cope.
Not illegal
I didn't
here.
know that coffee. I didn't know that
Hook it
coffee
to
was
my
illegal.
eyeballs.
Wait, does it work like that?
This is incredibly important for us to watch.
Yes.
Oh yes, the pew pews.
Yes.
I like
Gotta
the
love
little
those
additions.
visual effects there.
Yeah. That's enough of that.
I will say what this week was very much an update saying that, hey, we're working on stuff. And one of the things that I've been seeing around the community is that a lot of people are upset that they've been working on stuff in the sense that it feels like what they're showing is lackluster and it's small, it's too short, and that's a problem. And it's a sentiment I've heard in the community for a long time. But the reality is that like ATV is what they show of what they got.
Yeah.
And if you're concerned, you know, like brackets concerned about I don't know if that's still a thing. That was a big thing in the old forums was the brackets.
Bracket
Oh, yeah.
concern, yeah.
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 If you're concerned that like this is going to be bad for Star Citizen, like the reality is, you know, any project, let alone gaming, takes a long time to pivot. So even if CIG was to take everyone's advice right now and be like, work on salvage right now, we want it right now, or any gameplay loop that they want right now, it would take 6 months at least, if not more, to pivot towards that. So at a certain point, you just got to sit going like, you know what? This is Star Citizen. If you
Well, and
can't
I mean-
handle the fact that it's slow development at times, then
This is a really good time to actually talk about that development and about what they're focused on this week in ATV. Because what they are focused on this week in ATV may seem small, but it is quite frankly the biggest part of the game. And it's not the biggest part of the game just for Star Citizen, but also for Squadron 42. The flight system, the flight model has to be done, solidified, and unified across both products.
Yeah,
Or they
especially
can't
for-
release them.
it also needs to be good.
Yes.
You know, it has to be fun. And I saw, and one of the things that maybe it's just me because I'm a little frustrated by this because I actually played this flight model.
I did too.
It was a lot of people were being like, "Oh, I don't trust this. This kid doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He just has some masters in physics. He's never done something like this before." The person who's behind this, I'm like, "Dude, you've not played this. It's fun. It works pretty well. I mean, it's not perfect. And it's going to get changed, to improve. But like, there's a lot of people out there whose their instant response isn't, okay, we'll wait and see. Their instant response is they see a change. They're like, I hate change.
Yep.
I don't like change. And it's weird in this community to see people who are upset about it, who are obviously very big fans and super enthusiastic. It's like, I know you want something. Everyone has one thing they want, but sometimes it's
This is the slight aside, but one of my favorite novels of all time is The Redemption of Althalus by David Eddings. And the idea in it is not really like that the enemy is trying to bring around this destruction or that destruction. They're just trying to stop all change. They do not want anything to ever change. And there's one point where the good guys are trying to stop him. They're like, yeah, but if we stop him doing this, bad things will happen. And it's like, yeah, but sometimes things have to change. They just have to. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're at a point where CIG, I'm not saying, like, trust CIG entirely. What I'm saying is there is little that CIG can do to sate anyone's immediate needs because their path is going to be set in stone starting February. And not everything's going to get done by February, but in order to get the ball rolling and get things done in the right order, it takes time to plan those things out. And if you saw what happened last year, it's exactly the idea. Like they had the same idea where they had a good idea at the very beginning, and by the end of the year, a lot of the stuff that they originally planned was gone, but they also broke things up and made newer things along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So my message to the community is more like, hey, chill out. Deep breath. If you're feeling like it's really, 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 really bad right now, then find all the fantastic games which are coming out this year. You know, there's lots of other things to do.
Anthem.
No, there's other
The
things.
Division. Kingdom Hearts. That's like this week. Not to mention, like that's
Resident Evil 2 just came out.
Yeah,
too,
Resident Evil 2, which is apparently a phenomenal port, too. Like, there's guys, you're okay. I want Shiver. Hello. You look at. I'm going to speak in Shiver tongue for a moment to make sure that the message gets across. You look at this here flight model. You look at this here flight model, and I want to know what you think of it.
Don't try it. Don't try it.
I think it's good that they're looking at it. It's they've got to get to the point, like you said earlier, the flight model has to be unified between the persistent universe and Squadron. They need to start looking at it and putting it in a place where things can be. I don't want to say locked down because everything is going to be subject to change, but they want to start looking at, right, you know, let's get this fucking flight model in a place where we can say that's it. That is the basic thing. We're now going to just start working off of this template. This is what we want. Got a clear objective in. The problem is getting it there, and then the other problem is, right, it's all being done in house right now. The moment it gets into our hands, who the knows? And you know that's half the fun of testing, as Astro will tell you.
Yeah, we like to break things a lot, and I still remember a glitch where if you stepped on a single step in Grimhacks, just one step, you kill everyone in the server. There was one step, you just see people like collectively stack up on the steps and go, okay, 3, 2, 1, and they'd all jump on the step and they'd all die. Like, there's some weird bugs in Star Citizen which are fantastic. Not to mention HC Vertigo abusing the fact that you could carry guns into Port Olisar and making it like a fucking slaughterhouse. You would just walk around Port Olisar shooting people.
I am not surprised.
No.
Hell, think about getting Grey Cats into Lorville. People just driving around like madmen with Grey Cats.
I have to say, I do like the like hold to decouple thing.
Yeah,
I think that's a cool feature. I mean, I'll have to actually play with it, but
we're gonna have to play around with it more. But I mean, it looks fine. I want them to unify it. I want them to update it and get it as good as they can before it actually. Yeah.
What is Resident Evil 2, the remake / port, coming out on?
PC.
It's already out.
Yeah, it's out.
No, but what is it coming out on?
Steam.
I think it's Steam, but it's also coming out on, I think, PS4.
And Xbox One. Okay, coult. I
Xbox
just
One.
took a quick look.
I mean, get it on PC. But okay, so there are some more videos. Art Court looks really pretty when you're far away. It looks a little less pretty when you get the white boxes, but they're still white box. I'm really interested to see what this looks like down the road.
Probably
I just really want
very
CIG.
good.
I just want CIG to like let us fly through the city, or have some more natural way of killing you when you try to get close to the towers. You know, just not like you want to be like land anywhere in the city, but I want to be able to like fly through the skyscrapers, you know, between the skyscrapers, and enjoy the scenic vistas and stuff like that, and not just like, hey, I'm too close to an object that's not rendered properly, script kill. You know.
I would kind of like you to actually be able to crash into the towers
Buildings.
themselves, and then you come back to life and you've killed 400 people. All of your assets have been impounded, and you're shoved into jail for the rest of your character's natural life.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but at the same time, I at least like something like missile towers that will if you get too close to the buildings, they'll just shoot missiles at you.
Yeah.
And to the point where like not like where you can like glitch away from them, but like you've got so many missiles on you that you're gonna die. It's just a matter of trying to avoid them long enough before you die.
I think we saw it. I think we saw it in friggin' 2 years ago. Jeez, God,
Yeah.
Space Monkey, Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah.
Like they're sort
Space
of.
Monkey.
Well, you're playing a space monkey.
He's got a space monkey.
Yeah.
They're sort of like, oh yeah, you can just go anywhere in the city and rocket jump around anywhere. I kind of want to see that in ArcCorp. Like, I know we won't, but I still
Yeah.
want to be able to fly through it, you know? Anyway.
Yeah.
But it looks pretty.
It does.
Walla looks pretty. Ice.
Mhm.
I want to
have
see
a
them do
question.
snow.
4
question
weeks,
here.
5 weeks to make that moon.
4.
4 weeks.
It's not
I have a
bad.
question.
It's not bad.
Go. What's your question?
So they got this down to 4 weeks. They're pretty early on in making moons at this point, so we're still in the first system.
Mhm.
What point do you think they should aim for a moon?
3 seconds. Hit random, done.
How about someone like 12?
I think it should be about a week.
I agree.
I think the major thing we have to understand to also take this into account is that moons are very similar, even in reality. You look at pictures of Titan and compare it to Venus. It's pretty similar, and Venus is a planet and Titan's a moon, but they look fairly similar because most planets and moons are rocks and gases. That's pretty much all you
Also,
got.
Titan's bigger than Mercury, so it's
Yeah.
It's a large moon.
It's planet size.
It's a really, really big moon.
There's this thing where Jupiter is giant.
Yes, it's its own sun essentially. that just
Except
never
it's
went
not around
and
Jupiter.
never-
I know, but
FYI.
It's Saturn.
detail.
Yeah.
Saturn is
Saturn's
also
also
giant.
They're both giant.
But the point being that like CIG needs to learn that sometimes you don't have to handcraft an asset for every fucking moon. So at some point, you just, as Era said, you just hit fucking generate and then go smooth that shit out.
Well, see,
Because-
I want that. I want the just hit generate 3 seconds to make the moon, right? But then when you're looking at Walla, the only thing on Walla that looks different from any of the other moons is the ice crystals or the meteor the mineral crystals, right?
Yeah,
so
which is by design, yeah.
and that fine, take an extra week, 2, 3 to create. One person can work for a couple weeks making whatever it is that makes that moon special. Square rocks. All of the rocks on the planet are square. Whatever. But that can then be fed into the random generator and you hit random and it's done. Because they're going to have to
You
make...
can have the same minerals. You can still have some of those same mineral crystals on another moon in another system. And
Yeah.
Yep.
And just add in Fart Moon's atmosphere, Aberdeen's atmosphere to those crystals, and bam, you've got yourself a unique moon that doesn't exist.
And that's the thing. As they add more of these unique... I want to call them character pieces.
Yep.
They should have these unique character pieces, and they should have 1, 2, maybe 3 per moon that they can just reuse another one, but add it in a different way. They're going to have
They
to
also
make
did that
thousands of
with,
moons.
They also did that with the cryovolcanoes on Lyria.
The thing about
That's another thing you
cryovolcanoes
can. That's another thing you can reuse a lot.
Yeah, the thing is they're supposed to have cryovolcanoes on Cellin too, which is where you see those plumes of smoke on
Yeah.
Cellin when you go there. So, but someone in chat's talking about. I don't think that's how generation where you hit a button, it's done. It's not, but it's essentially there's a lot of stuff you can do with tools and then go in and smooth it out. So it's not like a push a button, walk away, get a sandwich, come back, and it's done. But it's like
it's
more
sliders.
Like there's less like going through and actually having to make everything. It's more like you have the tools to create it, and within a couple of days you can have a general.
They have a whole bunch of different sliders, right? Like cracks. Oh, okay, we slide this all the way to the top, and there's cracks all over the place. We slide it to the bottom, and it's a smooth moon. And then textures. Oh, let's go this way. Or rocks. How many scatterings of rocks are there? How lumpy is the terrain? And that's what they said in this episode. Is they've got a ton of different parameters that they can manipulate. It's just a matter of making sure that they have all those parameters. And Nakara just put it in chat, but I was going to say it out loud anyway for anyone listening or watching later. The idea is there's going to be like 400 or 500 planets in game.
Yep.
Some of those planets will have no moons. Some of those planets will have like 5 or 7 moons, right? So probably let's just pick a number and say 1,000 moons. And if each of those moons takes one person a week to make, that's 1,000 weeks.
Yeah, you guys have lots of people.
Lots of people, yeah. But
if you have 1,000 weeks and say you have 20 people working on the moons,
Takes you a year.
It takes you a year to pull out all the moons.
And that's just the moons.
And that's just the moons. But then, to be fair, though, most of the planets are basically the moons scaled up.
Yeah.
Because
I think the things that take a long time on planets is they tend to give means a lot more varied terrain.
Yeah, but at the same time, like a dead planet shouldn't have varied biomes. It's a dead planet.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Mars has varied biomes, but in general, you don't want to have it. And the other big thing, and I saw this on Reddit as well, is that the biomes are random, rather than being equatorial based, where you have the band around the center getting the sun, so it should have the best type of things. And then as you go further north and south, you should see colder or different varied environments. With CIG, it's just kind of like let's paint it everywhere.
I would like them to fix that, but
yeah.
I don't know. So I find that this is a problem with ATV is they. So a long time ago, they showed us really, really interesting things on ATV. Stuff that wasn't ready, stuff that was early. The golf swing or the depressurization. Grabby hands. Or the depressurization of a room when you opened a door or shot some glass or whatever. And I feel like they haven't showed us early stuff like that nearly as much. Probably because it was early and people bitched about it. But that, to me, those really early things, the like, hey, this isn't really ready, but we're going to show it off anyway. I liked those better because, yes, the moons are pretty. We get it. Star Citizen is a bloody pretty game. Everything looks good. Every ship looks good. Every character looks good. Every planet looks good. Every building looks good. But
are you sure?
I mean, no, but everything they've shown us does.
Fair enough.
Like, everything they've shown us looks great. I get it. It looks really good.
Then they occasionally go back and make it look better.
Yeah, I know. That's the weird thing. But I want to see the stuff that isn't about looks. Like, when was the last time... I mean, I can't remember, but they used to have entire episodes where it was just talk about sound design.
Or even things like the design docs, which haven't been updated or released in a while.
Which I honestly think it came down to the fact that nobody watched those episodes. And so they didn't bother anymore.
I know, but those were the ones that were interesting. Those were the ones that told us about the game. Who cares how pretty it looks? You can go and see that in-game right now. Just go in-game. I want to know what is coming, what the actual game is going to be like, what there's going to be to do and to.
We already know.
We know, but they haven't updated us on that in a long while, and that.
No. Also, it should be noted that a lot of that content is actually moved to Reverse the Verse, where they have like hour-long conversations with the dev about what they're doing and what's coming and what all that. But
that's not in a short, easy, digestible 10-minute chunk that I'll watch.
No, but that's actually why ATV is the way it is now,
I know.
because they don't want it to be that anymore. Because they wanted something for people who actually will watch it. And 10 minutes is king
It is the
YouTube
good time. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It is king.
That was
On YouTube, it's
delicious. That was a delicious stout. And I sorry, I
I'm
wanted
like
to,
barely awake, and David's like, "That was a great beer."
I have to have at
David's
least one.
barely awake. He's only been awake half an hour, and he's like, "Oh, fuck it."
I have been awake since 3 in the morning. Okay,
Oh, what? Why?
just not a good night.
Are you up writing again?
I did want to show this one off though because I like the name.
Oh, I should. Ooh, cheeky bastard stout. I like it.
Cheeky bastard.
Speaking of Titan, there is a game that I kind of popped onto my radar recently. There's a game coming out this year called Someone's actually making a game that's based on Titan.
Nice.
And it's like industrial city builder, it sounds like. So that might be kind of cool. It's on Steam if you want to check it out.
I feel like a lot of those have been coming out now. City builders with like.
Yep.
There's been a lot more space games coming out. Like when I went to PAX South,
yeah.
there was a huge, and I mean massive amount of games. Like Everspace was there again. There was a bunch of other space games. There's a brand new space game that they built their own engine from scratch.
Oh my god.
It was very simple, but it was engines from scratch for a space game. I said, he described it as like a 5 degrees of freedom game rather than a 6 degrees. And it was kind of just like an engine that this was the game that they created as a kind of a template for the final game. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I have it somewhere.
Cool.
But it was like these little polygon like looking ships that you'd run around. You'd fire like an anchor at a ball and then throw that. Then drag the ball with your ship into a goal, and then the other people had to stop you or hit you like missiles or stuff like that.
So like sling hockey
Rocket
in
League.
space.
Yeah, it was like Rocket League meets Twisted Metal with spaceships.
I like it.
Awesome.
I like it. Got a couple minutes before I want to jump into questions. Could also use some more questions if anyone wants to ask us some more questions.
Well, we could talk about
exclamation mark.
We could talk about the very few updates to the roadmap this week.
Yeah, sure.
There's almost nothing happened on the Star Citizen roadmap. The Squadron 42 roadmap saw 2 things removed from it. I suspect they will eventually be added back in later, but they are gone for the moment. I am just looking up the roadmap right now. Okay, so ship system degradation improvements from this quarter, as well as the Banu Singe Tachyon cannon, were both removed from the schedule. I suspect they will probably show up in next quarter or something eventually.
I'm still incredibly worried about the weapons. Because CIG are still putting out weapons at a rate of about 1 per quarter.
There's like 5 per quarter.
5 per quarter is still
nowhere near enough, but it's not 1 per quarter.
I don't want them to do Destiny, because guess what? Destiny, the weapons suck. Oh,
Well,
every
have you
single
seen-
person in the world wants to use the Widowmaker XXX 14-1 Bradley because it's the best gun. It sucks. It's bloody bullshit.
David, have you actually seen what Star Citizen is going to do with weapons?
I've seen what they've said they're going to do. I want to see evidence of it.
Okay.
I worry about it just being like there being the
Well, Q2 2019 on Squadron 42 roadmap is weapon and item customization.
I know customization is good. There is my worry that if all of the weapons are these single like named weapons like a Banu Scorch Cannon, whatever it was, then the customization to it, there will be some people that customize it heavily, but most people will not. Most people will just grab that weapon and that's it. Right?
Yeah, but then that's not the best weapon. The best weapon is the Banu Singe Tachyon cannon that has traveled across the universe to Joe Schmo, the magic weapons technician on the surface of the volcano planet Nero, who has upgraded it a million times.
But it's still that weapon.
No, it's not.
But
It's been completely changed. Now it fires kittens.
Can I get clarification?
A destruction of them?
Yes, a destruction
of kittens.
Cat gun. A catagun.
A catagun, yes.
A scat.
Can I get clarification?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I'm quite understanding. Are you thinking that there's basically going to be like, weapons X, Y, and Z, but this weapon is going to be better than that weapon, and this weapon is going to be better than that weapon? There's going to be this weapon is the best weapon of all weapons. Is that what you're saying?
I'm worried it's going to be.
You want to avoid, or what?
That's what I want to avoid. I'm worried it's going to be too like Battlefield or Call of Duty, as in here are the 50 weapons we have. This is the one that does the most damage. This is the one that fires fastest. Yes, you can modify it slightly to increase the fire rate, or yes, you can modify it slightly to increase the ammo count, but at the end of the day, you can't modify it too much. I want more Anthem or Diablo or like. I'm worried.
I have a different question. What about Anthem or Diablo makes it better than Destiny?
Mass Effect 1 had a pretty simple weapon system. They had a weapon, there was a gun, and then that gun had 10 levels. Same model, different color, 10 levels of that weapon. But just in having like 30 weapons, all with 10 levels of upgrading, there was more to look forward to. Ooh, I found a better weapon. Ooh, I found a better one. Whereas Mass Effect 2 had like 9 guns, and that was it. And it was like, oh, I like this gun. Well, guess what? You now get to spend all the rest of the game, 45 hours, shooting that one gun. There's never anything else. That's it. And that sucks. It's not
You've just
fun.
ruined Mass Effect 2 for me, you bastard.
Mass Effect 2, it was not a good game. The story sucked, the gun system sucked, the weapons sucked. Yes, the combat was bad, but
Jesus Christ, he is. Oh my God, dude, really?
Mass Effect 2 is a fantastic game.
Was a bad game.
It was worse than 1.
No, it wasn't.
1 is a superior game. Yes, it was.
It was better than 1.
Not in any.
Go back and play them both and tell me which one was better.
1. I believe me, I have played both of them so many times. 1 has a better story. It doesn't crap all over stuff. Sure, 2 has better controls and better combat, but it loses so much by the lack of inventory and the lack of weapon and the lack of gray moral choices. Mass Effect 2 has, oh, you do nothing, or you kick the guy out the window. That was it. Mass Effect 1 had actual gray morality, whereas Mass Effect 2 and 3 did away with the gray entirely. That is a fact. I love my Mass Effect, okay?
I will say that Mass Effect 2's story was better than Mass Effect 1.
Story better, choices worse.
Yes, I will agree that some of the choices were less subtle than, say, Mass Effect 1. But saying Mass Effect 2 is bad, Mass Effect 2 is probably, and is not just me, this is just critical reception, and as a community, the best Mass Effect game. Most people go Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 1, Mass Effect 3, and Mass Effect Andromeda in that order.
Wait, there was a fourth?
No.
Don't give me that shit. Yes, there was. It existed. Stop pretending it didn't.
I know that that's how most people go. Most people go that way because the gameplay in 2 was better.
Mr. Ellis.
What,
Let's
Shiver?
Star Citizen
Can I
podcast.
address your
Okay.
point from like 3 fucking hours ago about the weapons in Star Citizen?
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
Right, so I could see, and this is probably more of a personal hope, that it's not going to be as simple. Take sniper rifles. It's not going to be as simple. That is the best sniper rifle. It's going to be the right kind of sniper rifle for the right kind of job. I could see specialized sniper rifles for heavy gravity planets or celestial bodies. I could see variations in sniper rifles. Maybe I don't want a sniper rifle that's going to have a range of 2 miles. Maybe I want something that's a bit more accurate so it doesn't have a drop off and it has a less range but more ammo pushing powers.
Right.
I could see variety like that.
Yes.
So it's not a simple case of that's the best. It's more a case of that's the best tool I can get for this kind of job that I think.
Right.
That's what I hope.
I just don't understand why you're worried about it when we already know it's not going to be what you're worried about.
I don't know that it's not going to be what I worried about.
Well, I guess
I-
if they don't implement any of the things that they've said they're going to implement, then it might be a problem. That's basically where we're at.
Yeah, and I think they will, and they've even talked about the different levels of weapons, not just the sizes, different things you can modify with them. And the problem is that, and this just comes back, CIG is a slow developer. They're a more of a Valve or a CD Projekt Red than they are a Bungie in terms of how quickly they can produce something. Bungie can make a game from scratch in a year that's halfway decent, but something like CD Projekt Red wants to take 6 years to make the game as good as it possibly can be before they release it. Same with it used to be Valve, but so those kind of ideas, and we're just getting to see how the sausage is made. So I think the concerns are there, but it's more than that. You just need to wait and see.
Nobody else is in the room where it happens.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean that's actually maybe a good comparison because you look at Halo and you have a similar problem with weapons.
Yeah. Where they didn't focus on the weapon variety. They focused on gameplay.
You have like what 6 to 8 weapons somewhere in that range, and
they increased it as they went on, but they essentially just took the same weapons they had made previously and then added more every game. So now there's a huge variety.
The Needler.
They have a huge variety of weapons now, but like
we haven't
pasta.
We haven't seen an update on that in a long time. They haven't really talked about.
Well, it depends what you mean long time. They had one last quarter.
But it was like they've showed us, you can add some scopes and stuff. They haven't talked about their plans.
You can change the barrels, the stocks, the scopes, and what I think some parts about the action. At least that's what I thought I saw. And then you can also tune the weapons.
Yeah.
And then
we'll see.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just throwing my worry out. Also, it helped us kill time until question time.
I really, really hope we have questions.
We have a couple. Because otherwise, I'm going to start singing about sausage. So
I don't have a comment about that. Actually, I think let's just move along.
Sounds good. The Punisher asks, "Do you think the perforated skin of the spaceship will cause?" Oh wait, sorry, that's
from the show of Tuesday.
That was from us talking about SpaceX.
Yes,
because they have a ship with perforated skin.
Yes, they do. Now, do we actually have any questions? Now that you
we do. Yes, we do have some. Yes. So I feel like I answered this one last week. I did. That's from the space show as well. Next, okay. I didn't put in the red marker to say where we were done. Okay, here we go. Now we're at the start. Ashley asked. I mean, details. Ashley asks, "What are your thoughts on on player-generated content for Mobiglass applications. So, like, games.
I think down the road it's a good idea. I think that they'll need a very well developed curating system.
They need a weather app for planets.
I mean, I could see them working with that weather company to have like a co-branded in Mobiglass app.
Okay, I had him on one of the creators on one of the heads of that company on the Captain's Table. He's a good guy. He's a great Star Citizen fan. And he knows a lot about the game. And he basically was just like, probably not. We asked him that question specifically. Like, did you do a weather app for Star Citizen? And he's like, we'd have to get people on it, and it would require us shifting resources, and it'd have to be like a reasonably viable thing for us to do.
Right.
But like he's like, we're so far away. But the things like that, like just an app or just like a button that does the final countdown, so that you can do like place the final countdown on your Mobiglass, so that you can launch shit like that would be a great little mod way for Star Citizen.
So
because it would only affect you.
Here's my worry is if they allowed stuff like Mobiglass apps that launched Pong, right, coded by a citizen somewhere. One, what could they sneak in? And two, copyright. So someone decides to put Super Mario on the Mobiglass in Star Citizen. Guess what? CIG are the ones that get sued. I don't think that will ever happen. I think you might see them open up like civilian contests of like design us an idea for an app and then we'll make it in game. Like we'll look at the responses and pick one that wins. That's a good idea. And then we'll make it. But I think due to copyrights and stuff, they'll probably have to hand make all of the Mobiglass apps, except for hopefully something that plays music from your hard drive / they better friggin' include it, because who has music on a hard drive anymore? A streaming service.
Yeah.
Very, very hard to do.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's not impossible if they sign a deal with, and CIG has enough clout.
Amazon.
They have a lot of negotiating power. Like they've. I'm surprised with the people they've talked to. You know that they're part of Red Bull Gaming's latest. They just announced that it's part of their latest. Like they're doing a documentary on game making, and of the 5 companies that are making, the guys who made like Cuphead.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 or 3 other like indie developers. They included Star Citizen as part of it as well. And you know, talking about like following the progressions of these games. And that's strange. Like whoever is their team who's doing the outreach for like companies and discussing, they are doing well. So yeah, but as you said, Amazon has. Did you know that Amazon has a streaming service for music? It's actually fairly good. And you know what you get for free when you sign up for Amazon Prime?
The music
Amazon
service.
Streaming service.
So can you imagine an Amazon app in game that you can play Amazon Music from or play Amazon Video from while you're on a 45-minute trip from one moon to another, because that's the travel time for the moon around one planet?
It's not, but okay.
I know. I'm being facetious.
It's like 10 seconds.
Imagine the problems you'd have as well. It's like, you know, well, I could stop watching Man in the High Castle, or I could fight this guy.
Listen, Expanse Season 4 is out, and I'm watching Expanse Season 4 while I'm being interdicted. Do I need to take this guy's call, or do I need to keep continuing? I need to know what happens to the Rosie guys. I really need to know what happened to the Rosie.
Wait,
will they make it through this?
Are we saying that we're going to have Amazon the Amazon app in our Mobiglass so we can shop while we're
yes, right when Amazon launches Amazon Food. So you can order yourself pizza from the Mobiglass app.
Hold on. You know they actually have that, right?
Not up here.
They do have it in the US.
Yeah, I know.
They have Amazon delivery where you can because I got a free voucher for $50 because I ordered something on there. So I was like, oh, cool. So I got Five Guys burgers ordered from Amazon. It's like,
Nice.
okay, you know.
Yep.
So I gotta tell this really quickly. So they just built a
Quick, because we actually just got like 400 questions.
I know. We just got an Amazon warehouse in Calgary. They just built it. And I had my first like super weird experience with that. I ordered something that was supposed to be 2-day shipping, and it was at my house like 12 hours later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We're about to get one in Ottawa, and I can't wait.
We have one in Austin, and it's like that. It's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be here on Sunday, and it's Thursday, and then like Friday it shows up. It's like, oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Ashley asks, what is your current most anticipated ship? Everyone's going to answer the Endeavor because they're intelligent. Moving on.
The Carrick.
Polaris.
what was the question?
What's your most anticipated ship?
The game. The game ships.
A good answer.
Ashley
How
also
complicated?
asks,
Paul wins.
how complicated do you think weapons and computer tuning, overclocking, and hacking should be? I, for one, think it should be similar to games such as Shenzhen IO or TIS 100. Haven't played either of those, but definitely not simple.
Yes.
It should be easy to do some low level stuff, but as you get more complicated, it adds more layers. The idea being that you want to create a system that is easy for anyone to kind of try. But if someone wants to become dedicated, having a dedicated hacker as a pirate crew is a good idea. You know, be that idea. Like there's some games that I played, like what was it called? Life is Feudal, where having a good herbalist is like having a witch doctor, you know, having a voodoo priest, because like they can make shit happen out of nowhere because they dedicate their lives to that. So
I really liked, and this is from so long ago, I don't even care. Puzzle Pirates. I was a really, really good bilger in Puzzle Pirates, and I would always bilge in Puzzle Pirates because that's what I was best at. And I could keep a ship that was full of holes empty of water because I was such a good bilger. Yeah. Bilge, you bilge snipe. Ashley asks, what other manufacturers would take on a ship like
What would other manufacturers take on a ship like the Freelancer or Cutlass be like? Well, I can tell you one thing for certain: Origins would be sleek.
mm-hmm. It would be baller. Okay. Miss was already there. The Anvil would be lots of guns. It would be just guns for guns.
It would be slow and ponderous and full of weapons.
The
Aegis
consolidated
would just be
one,
this rectangular block with open up missile slots.
Yes.
a consolidated one would just have a bed in the back.
Yes. It would also have a self-driving feature.
Yes. Ashley also asks, and I was going to talk about this earlier, but then I saw the question and avoided talking about it. So, what do you expect from snow physics? Oh my god, I expect so much from CIG. There better be footprints and different density levels based on the temperature, different snowfall rates. Some snow falls faster than other snow. Some falls in giant chunks and some in tiny ones. Sometimes you get water in with that snow. I expect drift and snow to pile up against objects like buildings. Sorry.
So you want Red Dead Redemption.
I was gonna say all you had to say was Red Dead Redemption 2, and that's it.
Yeah.
Seeing
Snow
as I don't play it because it's not on a decent system, I don't know.
They have the most amazing snow I've ever seen in a game in my whole
They
life.
should
and
put
it's
it on
something
PC.
It's something I've always wanted to see somebody do, and now that they've done it, I'm like, CIG, come on. Somebody's done it. Figure it out.
Yes, Dargenator is right. I do also want to be able to pour maple syrup in the snow and then scoop it up with a stick and eat it.
Yes.
Bryce Arena asks, how is CIG going to make weapons unique and not RPG fodder?
think we covered that.
Kinda.
Ish.
I don't think they should be unique. I also don't think they should be RPG fodder. It should be a mix of the two. There should be unique ones and basic ones. There should be genuine growth in the weapon system and a feeling that you are firing different things when you're firing different weapons. Every single weapon should have character, but you need to have more than just 6 weapons in the game. And also, if it takes them a quarter to come out with 3 weapons, we'll see.
You know what would be really fun is, I mean, I guess it should work this way, but I would like it to work this way. I hope if you're on a high gravity planet, that it's a much better idea to use like a an energy sniper rifle than a projectile one, because the projectiles will drop like crazy.
Whereas the energy will keep going straight.
Yeah.
Here's something I did. I just Googled Red Dead Redemption 2 PC, which they still haven't confirmed or not.
Nope.
But the developer of Reign of Kings and Starforge is making basically Reign of Kings Red Dead Redemption, a Western MMO with that styling. So if you like that kind of game, it's going to be the same engine, it looks like, but with Western themes. So
Cool.
if there's a market for it, people will fill it.
If you listen to Disco, he says RDR2 is never coming out on PC.
Yeah, but why would anyone listen to Disco?
I don't know
sure.
if that's. I don't think that's true. Only because the only reason why Red Dead Redemption 1 didn't come out on PC was because GTA 4's port was garbage.
GTA 5's port was great and made them all of the money in the world.
Exactly, but and so they know that if they take the time, they can make it and they can sell it, and they're still working on Red Dead Redemption 2 online.
Yeah.
So when that's finished, they'll start. My guess is they'll start working on the PC if they actually
Probably.
think there's still legs.
Maybe.
So.
We'll see.
I feel like they would be really dumb not to. PC is doing quite well now.
It's they can print money. Why wouldn't
Yeah.
they want to print money?
Printing money's fun.
Okay, next question comes from Project Sinus, who asks, what are your expectations for 2019? I think 3 of us have gone through this a couple of times. So,
Well, it's okay.
Paul, what are your expectations for 2019?
It's a year.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty solid expectation.
I mean, honestly, the fact is that if you I expect them to do better than they did last year, but not by much. I expect increments of inches rather than miles in improvement. Because CIG has been proven to be a slow developer. They take their time for everything and anything. So like what we expected at the beginning of 2018, we ended up getting 1 out of 3 major gameplay mechanics. I expect 1.5 this year. I expect maybe repair, maybe refuel, and maybe like the reputation system revamp. So like
Salvage.
repair will be the one that they'll make.
You really think
No
salvage has been moved right out of 2019?
Okay.
I feel like salvage is not going to be out until they can get the vulture up and running.
Yeah, but that could be like next week. It's not a very big show.
But it also doesn't matter for Squadron 42. Repair does,
Repair does,
and so does refuel.
Although
so-
repair and salvage are basically the same thing, just in reverse.
They are, but it's still, you know how CIG works. They don't work like that. They say, yeah, it's the same in reverse, but they're not going to reverse it. They're going to sit there and make a whole. They're going to spend 6 weeks on patenting, getting a brand new way of doing things, and they're going to have 17 meetings about it. And then when it comes down to it, some developers just going to be like, it's just the same in reverse, right? And finally, Chris and the head judge will go, oh, okay, fine, let's just do that. So.
Oh man!
So I'm honestly expecting minimal effort. I'm expecting ships to fly better, combat to feel better, repair and refuel, maybe refuel, because refuel is just like maybe. Repair at least, and more ships and stuff like that. I'm keeping my expectations minimal at this point.
My only expectation, or at least my only hope, is that we'll start seeing what's going to make Star Citizen a fun game other than making it a fun game yourself.
Other than being a sandbox game.
Yes. I expect we might start seeing the things that make it a good game on its own without you having to organize all of the content yourself. We'll see. Project Sinus also asks, do you think we'll see ray tracing on Squadron 42?
Definitely not
No.
first chapter.
No.
They've
I
taught
think-
basically. what
Eris, I would say Aaron is in control. Look at Aaron's previous work, and you'll be able to know.
What they've said about it is that they want to take a very long look at ray tracing and see if it's worthwhile, and how to do it without just totally destroying their frame rate. So I honestly I do expect it. Probably you'll see some ray tracing in Star Citizen at some point, but it might be like 5 years until you actually see that.
They have also said that Star Citizen is not going to be it's going to evolve over time. We might eventually see it in Star Citizen when it's worth
That's what
it.
I mean.
But right now, I mean, how many video cards can actually run ray tracing at a decent
3.
frame rate?
They're all way too expensive.
Yeah. So
Once
No.
AMD actually starts making ray tracing cards, then they'll be reasonable prices.
then they'll be completely unusable and have no drivers that ever work. And
Oh wait, so that's how it is right now. Okay, good.
Dargenator asks, damn it. Dargenator puts a link in here, and I gotta figure out how to.
Damn you, Darge.
Is it the? I think. Is it him talking about the P8?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so the link is. I can give you the link right now. Paste. There we
Cool.
go. There's the link.
I like
That's the
this.
P8.
This is cool.
It is
P8
cool.
is-
Crap. How do I grab it? Oh wait, maybe I can do it this way. If I can copy this.
This is
What
what I meant by
there
interchangeable.
sometimes is
This is what I meant by interchangeable barrels. Like you can change the actual gun that it is.
yeah.
Yes.
Bearing is designed. The P8 is designed to be fully modular in terms of like what it, and how it functions. But I think there are some cases where it has a physical case, like the P8P is not a module. You can't modularly change that to the assault rifle. But
No.
the difference between the DMR and the assault rifle is a barrel, and the difference between the sniper rifle and the DMR is the barrel, and and the receivers, like the what it can chamber for its rounds.
Now, was this like?
Super cool.
That's a concept art for.
This is all
for-
concept art.
Yeah. Oh, what? No,
But they've already made the P8, in game, and plus they have the P8 assault rifle in Squadron 42.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's
this is
the game,
basically-
the gun they use
basically
for every
the idea.
demo. Whenever you see them shooting a gun in an ATV, it's a P8 assault rifle.
If they do this for most of the weapons, then
There'll be plenty.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just this is like something like this with the tuning and with different mags, different etc. that I want to see.
Okay,
But
Darge
yeah.
has a different image. God damn it! He split it up so he didn't get timed out. But let me do this.
Could have just permitted him.
I know.
We could have just
All right,
asked
here we
for
go.
permission and been like, there you go.
Here we go. Here's the actual range. You can see the whole range, because the difference between say the P8,
Yeah.
DMR, and the P8 LMG, they both use 7.62. It's just a barrel attachment. The P8 AR and there's two P8 ARs. One's a 7.62 millimeter. The other one's an 5.56. That's just a change in the stock and the receiver. They swap them out pretty easily. And right now, what we have is the P8 SC, which is the 10 millimeter submachine gun.
Yeah. So this is the type of thing I want to see. This is what I'm assuming they'll have, at least for all the UEE type weapons, and then hopefully some variation in the other weapons as well.
This is what I'm hoping we'll see as well. It's just I don't want it to be a hope. I want.
Yeah.
Well, they have weapon customization next quarter, so
I'm just.
For Squadron 42.
This is what I'm.
but
This
I mean,
is what I'm looking
it'll
for.
flow over.
Yeah.
I don't see why it wouldn't flow over. It's not like weapon customization's a huge barrier between multiplayer and single player, I wouldn't think.
So Bryce Serena asks, do you think that when CIG simulate weather, they will have meteorological aerodrome reports, data for localized areas on planets or atmospheres and moons? Yes.
Yes.
It's easy. It's just data. Like for them, it would just be data for their systems, and they can fake it by saying, "Oh, those are weather satellites," whatever. You know.
Also,
Probably for immersion, it would only be higher quality. You wouldn't see Grimhex saying, "And now the weather today is
Yeah.
but
Yeah, the
you know,
Grimhex weather's just total bullshit.
toxic rain."
but you'd
Rain.
you'd get a mission, and you'd be able to look through the mission information, and you'd be able to flip over to the side, and it would be like, weather in the area. There's a sandstorm. You're gonna have to go in on foot.
Yeah.
Yep. I would love to just be able to go, okay, I gotta, outside of missions even, I'm gonna take cargo from here. I won't be able to do that because there's a hurricane destroying that city right now.
Yeah. The Dark Janitor asks a good one. What would you add to quantum travel to make it feel less boring and less of a loading screen? How about it taking less time?
They've actually talked about that. I know you've been out of the loop a little bit, but you did hear that loop.
I
and a
did
lot of
link
it.
No, no,
that
no.
to him, yes.
I know that they were like, oh, yeah, this does take too much time. We're going to have to reduce the amount of time. Because it does. It
There
took
are
too
going
much
to be
time.
long journeys. At
There
the
are.
end of the day, there are going to be long journeys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
there's
fine.
long journeys that will have to take multiple days to get through. But the issue is more like having fun in the Stanton system shouldn't take
Yes.
me 2 hours to get from one place to another.
Which I just want to say, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
Yes.
I know, and that's what
Yes.
I've been saying is that they'll fix it, and they did, and they're already working on fixing it.
Yep.
See?
Yeah.
Right.
But they won't. They don't know to fix it if we don't bitch.
That's fair enough. I did want to mention that I still think it's total bullshit that all small ships are slow and all big ships are fast. I don't think that makes any sense to me.
It's an excuse for carriers. It's why
I know.
it's allowing them to carry carriers.
But it doesn't make any sense for the Herald. The Herald is supposed to be
It
the
should be
fastest
fast.
ship.
Yeah, it should have faster. It should have faster quantum drive. Some ships should have.
slow
faster.
as shit right now. It's like that doesn't make any sense at all.
That doesn't work.
Yeah.
Their whole idea
Yeah.
that the bigger it is, the faster it goes.
It needs to be
that's
more nuanced
dumb.
than that.
No, it's
Yeah.
just straight
Surely
dumb.
they are going to go back and say, so we're going to look at this and we're going to change this and we're going to have, I don't know, maybe they could think of a special set of rules for capital ship quantum. Because capital ships are going to need huge drive. I could see the logic behind huge drive, huge speed, but fucking huge mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, what they should
Well-
have is that capital ships and carriers should have specialized quantum drives that make them go faster, but at the result of them not being as fast outside, like they sacrifice engines power for quantum power.
What they should just have is
an excuse so that they can say that fighters are slower than carriers in quantum. So
all
I
they
just-
think they
should
should-
do. All they should do is say, okay, here are the various quantum generators. Right, a small quantum generator can quantum up to a certain mass. Right, the maximum mass for a small quantum generator is 20,000. Now, if it takes the entirety of that generator to have a 20,000 pound ship travel, guess what? It's slow. But if it's not using the full generator, it's like a 10,000 pound vehicle. Guess what? It's fast because it's not pumping as much power into it. Just do it like that.
Oh,
And then sure, you could have a large ship that still travels fast. It just has to have an oversized quantum generator.
Exactly. And then the Herald should have like a medium-sized quantum generator, so it's faster than shit.
Yes.
And you know
That's
what?
what it's
You know
supposed to
what
be.
that could lead on to as well. If CIG wanted, or sorry, if CI wanted, they could have it so if you've got so much engine power left over, you are actually, going over the threshold for the structural integrity or whatever of the ship. So it adds a bit more drama to a chase. You've got to be going full pelt when you've customized your engine so you can go fucking faster than normal. But the pirate's still on you. Do I slow down or do I let the ship blow up and things like that? That's a really good idea. I like that. I really like that.
Yep.
I think
That would
it
fix
makes
it.
more sense. I really dislike the just big ship go fast, small ship go slow thing that they have going on right now. But I also don't think, just like the other, like the travel time thing, I don't think it's by any means final.
Also, what they could do is, yes, a larger ship will have a higher top speed in quantum because it has more mass, but it takes longer to hit there and it has to start slowing down faster. Whereas a smaller ship may have a slower maximum speed, but it gets there faster. It gets up to top speed faster, which would mean that a larger ship would go faster over large distances, crossing an entire system. But for a small hop, not so much.
Yep. All right, let's move
Okay.
on to our next one here.
Yep. Ashley asks, do you expect Amazon to be present in the universe in some way? Like maybe the parent
It already
company
is.
How is it?
It's got an allegory or whatever. What it's called? It's Voyager Direct is Amazon.
But
Oh, cool.
Amazon themselves,
But-
like branded.
But Voyager Direct is gone though. So are we?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Sorry, I made.
It's as a company. The Voyager Direct story in the game on thing is gone, but the Voyager Direct is still a company in game, and it actually is a delivery company. So you can the idea is you can go on your mobile glass, order something from Voyager Direct, and have it delivered to a certain space so you can pick it up.
It'd be funny if they just put Voyager Direct by Amazon.
By Amazon.
I fully expect them to. One of the things that CIG have said and have made clear is they are completely willing to put advertisements in game if the companies go the distance and make it make sense. And I think that it makes
totally
easy
makes
sense for Amazon,
Yeah.
right? Free advertising for Amazon makes sense for CIG. Why not? Bryce Arena asks, as an aviation enthusiast, do you think that CIG will create a global, as in planetary moon, navigation system similar to what airplanes use currently, known flyways and vectors for approaches and departures?
Can I take this one?
Yes, you can.
Like ArcCorp? Yes. And on Earth, yes. On places like Walla and Lyria? Absolutely not. It doesn't make any sense to have established flyways on backwater moons. So I think this is very much going to be a sometimes. Would you agree with that, guys?
Yeah. We would have some sort of ATC managing system and all that kind of stuff for and automated systems for larger planets, but not necessarily for moons.
Mm-hmm. And also probably for really big stations. Because I think the stations we're seeing in the game are nowhere near the size of what they're going to get. So.
No, and I also think that that's not going to be a priority until they can get more than 50 people in a game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need a couple more questions. We are now on our last question, and I'm sure David's out in the back there warming up his lungs.
No, I was not. Wait, should I?
Well, we have one question.
Oh. No, I was helping. I was helping Mini Eris choose a move to kill Starmie because she was fighting
Excellent.
Misty.
Excellent.
Evie used bite.
Last one might be a loaded question, but should CIG start focusing more on game loops rather than tech/aesthetics? I think the answer to that is you have different people doing different things, and they should focus on all the things at the same time.
I really The problem about game loops is that game loops only work when you have tech that is back end that works. Like, it doesn't make any sense to have game loops that function with large ships when you can't even get the large ships in game because the number of people to use that large ship would take up most of the server.
Yeah.
So there's some. The reality is that not all the game loops are created equal, and not all the game loops are as easy to make as others, especially from tech. At some point, they need to stop making tech and start making the goddamn game, and that point is a lot sooner than it is now. Than it has been in the past.
So I think the answer is
they're at that stage now where they're looking at starting to finalize the flight model in the space combat sim. They're looking at that now.
Yeah,
that's a bit more basic gameplay than a loop yet. So I can get the frustration of, you know, I want to play this fucking game, but also at the same time, they haven't got the basic crap fully done yet. So it's like, yeah.
I'm actually going to disagree with you slightly there, Shiver.
Well, fuck you.
I know. So here's the thing. No, this is how I see it. You are correct. They are now finalizing the flight system, but they have also had a perfectly workable flight system for a long time.
Which is bad.
It may be bad, but it's worked, which means they've been able to work on other things like other game loops for a long time. Now they have to go back and finalize the things that are already done because they're not done well enough. But I think that they could actually focus more on putting out more gameplay, more game loops for us to test, because the only way for them to know whether or not the stuff that they've implemented is good or not is for us to test it, because unless we tell them whether or not they're doing stuff well, they haven't hired a large enough Q&A team to do it themselves. So we need to try everything in its early implementation.
I appreciate what you're saying. I don't entirely disagree, but I counter with, what if everything people have tested suddenly is out the window because this flight model has changed something very subtly that no one saw, and it's like, oh fuck, we've got this problem here that didn't, you know, this used to work, but now with a new flight model it doesn't. But I get what you're saying as well.
But that's specifics. It's not game loop, right? The game loop idea is less gameplay and more, all of a sudden we can go down to a place and have this happen and have this happen and have this happen.
It's game features.
Yeah.
The problem about that is that in order to have the game features of being able to go down and talk with an NPC and negotiate for the release of a hostage, because that's part of your mission, to get money to improve your reputation, to move forward, you need to have the reputation system, you need to have the NPCs working, you need to have. So the problem is that game loops aren't just a catch-all. People say, game loops. It's like, this is a problem with space gamers.
Yes.
Is that space gamers for a long time are used to the idea of a shitty, ugly-looking, basically functioning game that has a lot of versatility in its gameplay. More focus on the gameplay, less on the game itself. X is a fantastic series, but X looks fucking awful outside of just the big ships. The character animations are garbage. They're worse than Bus Simulator, and Farm Simulator character animations. But it's understandable because it's a group of like 30 dudes from Germany who have been working on this, and it's been getting better and better and better. And I think for a long time people are used to this, like, hey, let's have an expansive gameplay features with fugly ass gameplay that no one cares about and no one wants to play, because outside of the hardcore sim fans, no one gave a shit. Star Citizen is trying to merge the hardcore sim fans with the more casual gameplay. I know the term casual is fucking insulting apparently, but the idea of the people who aren't sitting there with a full cockpit and know all the terminology about FAA regulations and shit like that, where people who just want to pick up a game and have
people
fun.
Who are normal people.
Yes, and the problem about that is it's going to require less of the just copy what Elite Dangerous did, or copy.
There's also a problem because they haven't made that yet. They haven't yet shown.
They haven't, and it's.
That it's going to be fun for just people picking it up, but
that's because they don't have a lot of the tech done. Yep. So it's a problem. It's that they need to get the tech done to get it in. The tech is done. There's a lot of tech that was done last year, which makes the game playable and to prevents it from blowing up. There's a lot of stuff that they talked about that they're working on for this patch, which is just going to clean up a lot of the bullshit that happens with disconnects and those sorts of things, which is all good, and it makes it easier to play. But they need to make other content, like make other things in order to make the game fun.
I hate to say it, but they also need to.
It's not all done yet.
They also need to listen to people more like. I'm gonna say me, and someone's gonna go, but like people who aren't as interested in the whole sim aspect of it, because right now that's all it is. So that's all you get from people actually playing it. So that's all you get.
If you ask somebody who likes Sims, they're like, it's fucking horrible. It's fucking awful.
But they're the ones
close to a sim.
They're pushing it further to be closer to a sim.
They are, but CIG's not listening. They're
not listening to anyone.
No.
They're listening, but they just are only listening when it's appropriate for them to listen, if that makes sense. Like,
I just want to know why they don't listen to me at all times.
It's because
obviously.
of your hair.
My hair is fantastic.
Q.
You're
you look
cute.
kind of like a Pokemon.
You're cute.
It's because you're cute. Yeah.
Ashley asks, what do you expect from the web peripheral API? Literally nothing. My entire hopes and dreams for it were completely shot when they said you won't be able to book yourself travel. I now think that it will be completely, totally, and irrevocably useless, and there's absolutely no point in them making it. Period.
Okay.
Punto e basta. Derpinator asks, should the reworked 300 series have a Shea Lounge or a Lazy Boy in the back, not just a bed?
Of course.
No.
No.
No. The chair that you're on should be a Lazy Boy.
That would be hilarious. Your pilot
just
chair
a big
is this big,
plush chair. It should just like
vibrating.
A massager in the back. She's just like, yes. Siri, make me some coffee. You know.
M asks, does the Kraken have a med bay? And if not, should it?
I just checked. It does not have a med bay, and it's a Drake ship, so it won't have a med bay because they're just like, they can just fucking die.
It should have a med bay. It should 100% have a med bay.
I
the
thought
med bay is, you're hurt.
The airlock.
No, yeah.
Oh, you're hurt.
Shiver. The med bay is, you're hurt, you're taking up time and resources. Here's the eject pod. Goodbye.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the med bay in a Drake ship.
Or if you're in a very careful and kind Drake caterpillar, the med bay is, here's some bandages in the I think there's some bandages in the cargo bay. Good luck, kid. You know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Darsh asks, would you like to see planes, boats, and submarines that aren't also spaceships? No, but I would like to see planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yes. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this obsession with submarines and planes and other shit in Star Citizen. Fuck you. Make the goddamn game. I don't give a shit about you. If you want to get a submarine, go play Subnautica. If you want to go fly a plane around, go play plenty of the other plane games.
Don't deny me my space segue.
I would do you think that just to piss off all of the people who hated that scene, I do think that there should be some spaceships that can go underwater, like the Enterprise in one of the recent movies.
God.
No, they've said that they do underwater and they might do underwater exploration, and all I want, there needs to be something. I mean, I think the 890 jump is planned to do it. Fine, I will get an 890.
890 jump has to be a yacht.
It has to be able to land in water. They've shown it. There are other ships as well that have to be able to land on water. And the one thing that CIG have to do, because so many games that really should have done this haven't, and if CIG doesn't do it, it's going to be a serious, detrimental, and possibly absolutely debilitating hit on the game if they do not include fishing.
Of course. They've already talked about fishing years ago.
You're not wrong. Fishing is become such a big feature for open world games that if you don't have fishing...
Why does Sea of Thieves not have fishing?
Because it's a bad game.
You know what does have fishing and is a pirate game?
Stupid game.
What,
Don't like
what
it.
is that?
Atlas.
What is sorry,
Atlas.
Atlas. Okay. You know what else has fishing? Really good fishing. Red Dead.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. That's fantastic fishing.
I would love to
Yes,
play
it is.
it when it hits a decent console. Actually, no, it's not even that. It's I'd like to play it when I can play it on keyboard and mouse. I don't like controllers.
You know,
That's
you can,
it.
You know, you can play it on keyboard and mouse with both PS4 and Xbox One now.
Yeah,
right?
Xbox One has.
Does it have
keyboard and mouse
support?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'd consider it then. I know
I'll
that
bring
some
an
games
Xbox.
don't support it.
Maybe I'll bring an
yeah.
Xbox One X with me when I come to visit.
I've got a PS4. I just would have to go buy the game, which
Wait, so you have a PS4 and you haven't got Red Dead Redemption?
that is correct. I'm waiting for it to
That's
go out on
painful.
PC.
That's painful
Why?
because it's the best game for PS4.
God of War.
No,
I thought that Spider-Man thing was meant to be bloody good.
I also want to play
It's really
Spider-Man.
good.
God of War.
me too.
God of War is the best game on the PS4. Period. God of War might be one of the best games ever made. Period.
I've heard great things, but I've never had a PlayStation. So
Well, I guess you'll have to come and play it on mine. I played through it. I couldn't stop. It was just like a straight week of glued to the bloody screen. There was one last question. Shiver asked for me, why do you hate me? Dear Shiver, let me count the ways.
you can't count them because there are none.
Yeah. So that will be it for us today. That said, apparently tomorrow, myself, Nakara, myself and Nakara have been roped in by Jake.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
It's going to be incredibly interesting. Jake really loves Kingdom Hearts. I like it, but Jake is like in love
Obsessive?
with it. So tomorrow, I think at around 7 or 8 Eastern, we're going to be doing a Kingdom Hearts lore catch-up stream for every single one of you that's interested in the lore between the start of Kingdom Hearts and I guess the third one that just came out.
Oh wow, Kingdom Hearts 3 is on Xbox. I should get that. I didn't realize. I thought it was just another PlayStation game.
No, it's
Nope.
they finally they opened it up, and I think the third one actually comes with every other game, a port of every single other one.
Well, I might have
Really?
to take. I might have
Yeah.
to grab that.
Jake
Like,
was saying that it's
Kingdom
$40.
Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and like
Yep.
Kingdom Hearts 2.1,
Birth by
2.2,
Sleep,
2.3,
Dream Drop, Birth by Sleep, Rage Against the, I don't know, whatever they're called.
Mickey
but-
Mouse.
Yeah. I think I'd have to double check that, but I think it comes with all of them and is like $40, which is
Wow.
really good. Like really good. That said, there is another thing happening tonight. Paul.
Yes, we're coming back. The Captain Stable's coming back in exactly 2 hours. We'll be back with a Captain Stable. Captain Stable is a shorter format. This week we have Nubifire and Matachi. So come on in. Make sure to be there on time. That's at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. GMT. And we'll be doing short question and answer session at the end. But we'll talk more about the format when we get to that point. You'll see. So make sure you come. We'll be talking all about Star Citizen. We'll be discussing things like the roadmap changes. We'll be talking about the flight model, new stuff like that. So come on in.
Basically, it's
Twitch.tv
this.
/ the Astropub.
Basically, it's this podcast, but slightly more mature and without me, Nakara, and Shiver, so slightly more intelligent.
It'll be different.
Hell of a lot prettier.
It's still essentially the way that the format's going to work is it's very similar to what I've done in the past. But it's instead of just letting people go, each person's going to have a topic or two to bring up, and then some structured time to talk about it, and then move on to the questions. That was the issue.
So you're trying to
Other than-
tame the monkeys?
Yes, I'm trying to prevent Darjnader from throwing his feces all over us.
Wait, I thought it was me and Darj. Just you can't have me and Darj on at the same time, I guess.
Or yeah, and I've reduced it to 2, so I can't have you, Darj, and HC Vertigo on the same time.
Ooh, yeah, that's
Also spelled it destructive.
Oh
boy. Okay. With that, yeah. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Been fun. Come join us tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Please.
Please join. You need to watch it just so that you can suffer. I'm going to show up just so I can be like, what the hell are you guys talking about? I have no idea what this is about.
A kingdom of heart-shaped things.
And then Nakara Tuesday.
Yeah, we're gonna do. We're actually gonna do Apollo this time. I promise.
We're gonna finish the Apollo. See you later, everyone. Have a good night.
By the way, Tuesday might be a pretty long episode. Just FYI.
Yeah. Yeah. See you guys in the verse.